Okay, so now I'm going to set up the game so that if I click on one of the orange stones, it disappears and I get a point, and we'll just start with that, and then we'll worry about protecting, the ball from harm in a moment. So what I need to do is basically for the stone, I want to add an event that if I click on it with the mouse, and I'm going to use left pressed, then for starters, well, we want to get a point, right? So I'm going to add, let's just say 1 point, and this is important. See where there's this box relative? This is the first time we're going to use this. Basically, if I start at 0 and I click 1 stone, I get 1 point. Now that I have 1 point, if I click it again, relative to my score, I want to increase by 1, so then it would go from 1 to 2. If I did not have this checked, then what would happen every time I click one? It would just be 1. Okay? So now, when I click on one of these, I should get a point. Now, another thing that I need to include here is when the game, let's say when the ball is first created, or let's say in this case actually at the game start, I want to set the score to 0, not relative, because at the beginning of the game I just want it to be 0, and I want to display the score. So right now, this score caption is going to show the score. It's not going to show lives, and it's not going to show health. In a little while, we'll change this when we add lives. Or actually, no, you know what? We will put lives in right now, because we know we're going to use lives in the game, right? Yeah. So right now, it's going to show a score and lives with the caption score and lives. Pretty appropriate. So while we're at it, at the game start, I will also set the lives. What do you think we should set the lives at? 8? 6? 5. How about 5?
I like that.
We like 5. Okay, so we're going to start with 5 lives, 0 score. So let's see what happens right now if I start my game. So see up here I have score 0, lives 5. Now my score is going up, right? Do you see that? Well, they're not disappearing. Why?
You just kept it out of things.
And what?
Nothing happened.
Right, okay. So answer me this. Why didn't the stone things disappear?
Because you didn't have that on.
Because what?
You didn't set it.
Alright, I didn't tell it to do anything to disappear. I have to program that.
Yeah.
Why didn't the ball get hurt when the stones hit it? Because I didn't set that either. So that's what we're going to do now. So when we're going to start with the getting rid of the stones. So when I left press on it, I get 1 point. And what do we also want to have happen?
Disappear.
Okay, so under main 1, I'm going to tell it to destroy that instance. Okay? Now we should be making some progress. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so far so good, right? Right now our game is way too easy too, but that's okay. So now we wanted to also have something happen when one of these hits the ball, right? So that is going to be an event that when the ball collides with one of the stones, we have to set lives. Now, what do you think we should set the lives to now? Negative 1. And what was the other part? Relative. Otherwise, it would just make it negative 1. Okay? So now watch. We're going to have a little bit of an issue, though. And this is common until we fix it. Okay, watch this.
Oh, snap.
That's a little problematic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what do you think we should do to resolve that issue?
Fix it.
All right, we should fix it. Any good suggestions for how to fix it?
Collision.
Fix it. What?
Collision.
Well, we already have something with the collision, that when it collides, we set the lives to relative -1. Steve?
Maybe if it goes back to start.
Well, okay, we could have it go back to start. I still have a little bit of a fear that it won't be perfect. So this is jump to start. Okay, let's try that. Let's say I move out of the way a little bit. All right, so here we go, right? So I do that. Now I move to start. The only problem is, what happens if I get hit right around start? Or what could... In this case, I'm lucky. In this level, you're right. I happen to be in a safe zone because nothing can collide with me right at start. But if these were moving differently, even being in start, I could keep getting hit, in that spot and keep losing points. In this case, it happens to work out okay. I believe that when I collide with the stone, not only should I jump to start, I think I should still destroy the stone. Like it's a bad enough punishment that I lose a life, but I might as well, from colliding with it, take out the stone, right? Yeah. So in this case, though, destroy instance, ball is considered self, so other is going to be the stone. Okay? So now let's try it. Okay, I get points. I go back to start. I lose a life. Seems like a fair, deal. I lose the life, but okay. What's that? There's no objective? Well, not a good enough one yet, right? Okay. So we need an objective, you're saying. So our objective, perhaps, would be that if we get rid of all the stones, maybe we go to the next level, right? So let's get to that point. So in order for that to happen, we need to at least have a next level. So I'm going to call this room level 2, okay? And I'll still make it 32 by 32. And I'll say here, maybe be careful. The stones are getting faster, okay? Or maybe they even move in other directions too. But if that's going to be the case, I still want my ball to be in the level 2. But maybe for level 2, I want the stones to, like I said, maybe move faster. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm actually going to duplicate this. So now I have a new stone. I'm going to call this OBJ stone 2, and to make, as a start, I'm just going to make it, let's say, twice as fast in level 2, and then let's add these stone 2s in, and I think, quite honestly, at some point we should have stones going up and down also. There are a lot of other things we could do, but let's say we start there, okay? And now the thing is, though, we need a way to get from level 1 to level 2. Now, there are a couple of ways that we could do that. We could either go from, let's say in level 1, if, let's say, as another event, if there are, let's see, that's not what I want. Oh, I know what I'll do. For the stone, this is our first conditional statement. But you know what? I'm going to stop there for a minute and let you try to get this far. What I want you to understand is the next thing we're going to learn is what happens. We're going to set up a condition that if all the stones are gone from that room, then it automatically goes to room 2. Got it? So right now your goal is to get this far where you have the ball moving. You can click the stones to eliminate them and add points. And if the ball gets hit by a stone, you lose a life, and the ball goes back to the beginning. So you have a lot to try to accomplish right now. I wish you the best of luck.